The sun shone intensely over Capsule Corporation. Bulma, absorbed in her experiments, was reviewing calculations in her laboratory. Several months had passed since the tournament between Universes 6 and 7, and everything seemed peaceful, at least until an explosion of energy broke the calm. An azure flash streaked across the sky and landed in the building's courtyard with a dull thud. When the dust settled, a time machine could be seen. It was the same one Trunks had used in the past. Trunks? Is that you? The hatch of the machine opened with difficulty. Out came future Trunks. Exhausted, his face covered in sweat and battle scars. Trunks managed only a few steps before collapsing to his knees. Mom? Bulma ran toward him, holding him in her arms. Trunks! Relax, son, you're safe now. Meanwhile, Bulma had notified Goku and Vegeta, who were training with Whis in a remote location. Wasting no time, both teleported to Capsule Corporation. Is Trunks okay? His ki feels unstable. Damn it! That kid again brings bad news! Trunks, upon hearing Goku's voice, was startled. He raised his guard and lunged at him with what little strength he had left, trying to land a blow. You're not Goku! You're... Goku easily dodged the attack, but was astonished by his friend from the future's reaction. Hey, take it easy! It's me, Goku! Vegeta intervened before Trunks could fall to the ground again, grabbing him by the arm. Get a grip, boy! Can't you see the cloud in front of you isn't your enemy? Trunks stopped, panting. Little by little, he recognized Vegeta and realized that the Goku in front of him was not the same threat he had faced in the future. I'm sorry. I'm confused. I thought you were Goku Black. A tense silence fell over the group as that unsettling revelation hung in the air. Once inside Capsule Corporation, Bulma offered Trunks a place to rest. The young man recounted, haltingly at first, how in his future, an enemy identical to Goku had appeared and was wiping out humanity. That mysterious adversary called himself Goku Black. Black appears out of nowhere and raises entire cities. He's so powerful I couldn't stop him. When there was nothing left, I traveled here to ask for help. Goku scratched his head, confused. Someone identical to me? And wearing black clothes. No doubt he's got more style than me. Sounds exciting, but also dangerous. From what you say, he must be very strong. Another clown using your face. I'll personally see to it that he's pulverized. Whis and Beerus, who had also arrived thanks to Goku's instant transmission, listened intently. This could severely disrupt the order of the universes. Someone bearing Goku's face, calling himself Black? There's something strange here, perhaps related to the time rings. While everyone took in the information, Bulma headed outside Capsule Corporation to fetch some tools. However, she stopped dead in her tracks upon sensing a distortion in the air, similar to the temporal rift that had brought Trunks. What's happening now? A violent gust sprang from nowhere. Near the main entrance appeared a whitish sphere of light that began to swirl. After a few seconds, that sphere tore open as if it were a portal. The force of the vortex was so intense that everything around it rumbled. Bulma? I sense an incredible ki! Goku and the others rushed out, ready to face whatever was emerging from that strange portal. Vegeta took a fighting stance, as did Trunks, still weak but alert. What emerged was a very familiar silhouette, yet somehow different. A man with black, tousled hair, dressed similarly to Goku but with modifications no one had seen before. His gaze was serious, though not hostile. This place! Which timeline have I appeared in? An absolute silence followed. The confusion was palpable. Goku approached cautiously, sensing a surprisingly high energy in this stranger. Hey, you! Who are you? Could you be that Goku Black Trunks mentioned? Goku was about to launch an attack against his counterpart, but stopped at once, remembering Trunks had previously mentioned Goku Black wore dark clothing. And besides, he didn't feel any evil ki coming from him. This left everyone confused, not only Goku himself, but also Trunks, who couldn't believe yet another Goku who wasn't from his future had appeared. The stranger set his eyes on Goku, surprised to see himself in that form. My name is Son Goku, though I guess you already knew that, but to tell us apart, you can call me Goku AF. I think it's quite a particular name. Everyone's mind buzzed with questions. How could there be another Goku who was neither black nor the Goku they knew? In a world where time travel was strictly forbidden, and where an anomaly like Goku Black had already appeared, the arrival of Goku AF was staggering.
Another Kakarot? How many more are going to show up?
Goku AF? I've never heard of you. Are you from another universe? Goku AF looked at Vegeta and the rest, assessing the situation. His fighting stance faded slowly, sensing they were not attacking him. I'm not sure exactly. In my world, I've fought threats that endangered the entire universe. After an exhausting battle against a deity who almost destroyed us, something happened with the Dragon Balls. A wish went wrong, and it seems I was pulled into this time and space. Future Trunks, listening from the side, swallowed hard. He was still processing the existence of Black, and now had to grasp there was yet another version of Goku, apparently much stronger than he could imagine.
So, you're not an enemy?
Of course not! My instinct tells me there's trouble here. It's a familiar feeling. A look of understanding passed over everyone's faces, except for Vegeta's obvious distrust.
All Gokus seem to attract chaos.
They decided to head into the main hall. Bulma offered them seats and some food. While Trunks rested, Goku AF briefly told his story. He came from a world where, after defeating legendary enemies, he had reached never-before-seen levels of power, such as a transformation known in his universe as Super Saiyan 5. He had battled an adversary named Zykor, who was said to be the son of Goku and a Kaioshin, and who almost destroyed the entire galaxy. After that tough battle, he was forced to make a wish to save his timeline. However, the Dragon Balls underwent an alteration, opening a dimensional portal. I thought I wouldn't survive the force of the distortion, but I woke up here. Meanwhile, Trunks recounted what happened with Goku Black. Goku AF remained silent, both fascinated and worried by the idea that a being identical to Goku was wreaking havoc. A villain with Goku's face? And mine? That sounds dangerous. If this Black is as strong as he seems, you'll probably need all the help you can get. Vegeta couldn't help letting out a small, confident smirk.
Don't think that just because you have different hair or weird transformations, you'll be the strongest. This universe already has its own Elite Saiyan.
Goku grinned from ear to ear, caught up in the excitement of a new challenge. This is getting interesting. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the present, a sudden darkness began covering the sky. Violent gusts battered the earth, and a figure dressed in a dark kimono materialized in the air. His ki radiated evil, and his unsettling resemblance to Goku left no doubt as to who he was. It was Goku Black, who had managed to break into this timeline in pursuit of Trunks.
So this is where you're hiding, Trunks? And I see the real Goku lives in this era. Interesting.
At Capsule Corporation, Whis immediately detected the distortion.
Lord Beerus, something or someone has broken the time barriers again.
Damn it! It's as if I feared. Black has found a way to enter this dimension.
The alarm soon sounded throughout the facility. Bulma ran in, looking terrified. Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and the other Goku! Black is here! Trunks stood up at once, his face darkening as he sensed the malevolent ki he so feared. Goku and Vegeta exchanged glances. Goku AF also rose, clenching his fist at the arrival of such a dangerous enemy. I won't just stand by and do nothing. Let's go, Trunks, Vegeta.
I'll make him pay for destroying my son's future.
Without delay, they all rushed out of Capsule Corporation where Black was waiting. Goku AF's speed startled Vegeta for a moment. This new ally moved almost as fast as Goku in Super Saiyan Blue, but he seemed to do so without transforming. Trunks, who was injured, wanted to confront Black again out of anger, but Vegeta told him the best thing he could do was watch how the fight developed. So, you're the famous Goku Black. Black flashed a haughty smile. Well, son Goku, at last, I meet you in person. And Black would be slightly surprised to see another Goku, something he hadn't planned for, but at that moment he paid it little mind. He glanced sideways at Goku AF. It seems you're not the only one with your face. Fascinating. Even if we look alike, we're very different. I won't forgive you if you've destroyed Trunks' future. Black raised an eyebrow, perceiving the strength of this alternate Goku. Vegeta grew impatient, beginning to power up.
Stop babbling! You'll pay for your crimes!
In a flash, Vegeta transformed into Super Saiyan and lunged at Black. He blocked with his forearm, though he was forced back a few meters. Then he looked at Vegeta with a certain disdain. Not bad. for someone who doesn't understand true justice. The battle began to intensify. Goku joined Vegeta, both as Super Saiyans, trading blows and ki blast with Black. Trunks, still weakened, could only watch. Meanwhile, Goku AF observed the scene intently. He wanted to gauge Black's power, but he also wanted to avoid interfering in the initial fight between these warriors who had so diligently defended their timeline. Yet, something inside him warned that Black's energy was abnormal and growing with every blow exchanged. It's as if he's feeding off the battle! Indeed, Black began to develop a dark, violent aura that surpassed his initial power at times. Vegeta and Goku were taken aback to see how their attacks weren't having the desired effect. It can't be! With every hit we land, I feel his strength grow. I can feel it. This pain will only make me stronger. Vegeta stepped back as Goku remained close but cautious. They weren't using their full power yet. They wanted to test the limits of Goku Black. It was then that Goku AF decided to intervene. With a brief surge of his ki, he positioned himself in front of Black. That's enough! This fight will cause enormous damage if we don't stop it! And you also call yourself Goku. It doesn't matter. You'll be swept away by the justice I represent. I'm different from you. I don't destroy innocent lives or hide behind false causes. A tense air swept through the area as Goku AF began to raise his ki, revealing some of his true power. Suddenly, the sky started to warp again. An unknown force pulled Black toward a fixed point in the air. The time ring he wore seemed to glow. The time is claiming me. Before the battle could continue, Black was being sucked into the portal that had appeared. A strong gust of wind moved the time machine slightly, which worried Trunks, causing him to call out about the machine. That was when Black realized how Trunks had traveled to the present. So, before disappearing, he hurled a ki blast toward the time machine. But with impressive speed, Goku AF deflected it entirely, saving the time machine from destruction this time. Thus, Black vanished into the portal, frustrated by what Goku AF had just done. Silence reigned for a few moments. Trunks thanked him for saving the machine. Damn it! He's escaped! He'll be back. Somehow, he'll be back. Goku AF relaxed his stance, letting out a sigh. I don't know exactly what's going on with that enemy or his time travel tricks, but if you'll let me, I'd like to stay and help. Trunks exchanged looks with Goku and Vegeta. Despite their initial distrust, there was no doubt they needed all the strength they could get. I thank you again. We have to stop Black, and probably the only way is by joining forces. Goku grinned broadly, motivated by the challenge Black represented and by the presence of such a powerful new ally. Then it's settled. Goku AF stays with us! The group returned inside Capsule Corporation to plan their next move, but tension was already in the air. Goku Black had shown his growing power, and with Trunks back, history threatened to change drastically. With two Gokus on the same battlefield, the fate of the Earth and possibly multiple universes was about to be transformed. The day dawned softly over Capsule Corporation. After Goku Black's appearance and the sudden arrival of Goku AF, the atmosphere had taken on a constant sense of worry. For the first time in a long while, Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks faced a mystery that exceeded their expectations. As Beerus and Whis had unexpectedly decided to investigate the mysterious time ring in Universe 10 on their own. Unlike the original story, Goku preferred to stay on Earth to train with Goku AF, since he wanted to see how far this new warrior, who resembled him, could go. While the gods left in a hurry, the warriors remained on Earth, resolved to train with a clear goal in mind, to discover the extent of this visitor known as Goku AF's power and figure out how to use his teachings to stop the looming threat over Trunks' future. Bulma, standing beside the large laboratory machine, watched with concern the spot where Whis and Beerus had vanished just seconds before. Turning toward Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goku AF, she tried to force a reassuring smile. However, her voice betrayed her lingering worry. Please, don't do anything reckless. You four, are the best hope to halt Black's threat. Train hard, but don't destroy half the planet in the process, alright? At those words, Goku smiled with his usual enthusiasm. Vegeta let out a slight grunt. Trunks clenched his fist in determination, and Goku AF bowed his head in respect. A sense of responsibility burned in their eyes. You can be sure we'll train without causing trouble. Besides, I think Goku AF has a lot to teach us.
I just hope this other Kakarot proves his so-called strength. I won't tolerate any bragging.
If you really can help us, I'll be forever grateful. My future depends on finding a way to stop Black. I'll do everything I can to contribute. You'll see that, although I share Goku's face, my power comes from different experiences. Bulma sighed at those replies and went inside Capsule Corporation, ready to support them with new technological ideas. The group prepared to set out soon. The chosen place for training was a mountainous region, with deep ravines and towering crags. A fresh breeze brushed their faces as Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goku AF descended among rocky formations. This place is perfect! We can fight without worrying about damaging cities!
Let's not waste any more time!
This place looks a bit like my future before Black devastated it. You'll feel a key unlike yours. I hope it leads us to new techniques. A solemn silence enveloped them, filled with anticipation. They were ready to learn, share powers, and forge a strong alliance. Vegeta was the first to attack, his impatience evident. With an electric flash, he raised his power to Super Saiyan Blue, making the air around him vibrate. Goku, excited, copied the transformation, smiling as he felt divine energy course through his body. Determined not to be left behind, Trunks turned into Super Saiyan 2, unleashing golden sparks. Goku AF observed calmly.
Ready to see our divine power? Don't just freeze there, show us what you're worth!
Goku AF would be a little shocked to see the Super Saiyan Blue form of Goku and Vegeta, as he felt that his ki had disappeared instantly. At that moment, he realized that in this world, the transformations as he knew it were very different. First, I want to gauge your strength. Then, I'll reveal a different level than what you know. With that, he launched himself at Vegeta, blocking a precise blow and feeling the intensity of that immense blue ki. The impact was so powerful that the ground cracked. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of punches that Goku AF blocked, sensing how each strike increased his understanding of Super Saiyan Blue. Goku joined the fray, attacking from behind with a downward blow. Trunks took advantage of the opening to slip between them, swinging an energy slash with his sword. Goku AF backed away a bit, astonished by their coordination. Suddenly, Vegeta shouted,
"Don't think you can beat us without transforming!"
Goku AF held back a smile, adrenaline surging through him. "I prefer to watch first," he said calmly. "Don't worry, you'll see my other form very soon." The air shimmered with ki sparks, making it clear that the battle had only just begun. Their strength was on the rise, and the atmosphere crackled with electricity. Several minutes of intense exchanges passed. Dust flew in whirling eddies, and nearby rocks splintered under each collision. Trunks felt his heart pounding, recalling how in his future, devastation was the norm. If Black is stronger than this, he thought, I'll have to multiply my power. Goku, for his part, was enjoying the thrill of the fight, while Vegeta grew more aggressive. However, Goku AF felt he had yet to show his full potential. At last, he took a step back and shouted, "Enough! Now I'll show you my true ancestral power!"
Ancestral power? What are you talking about?
Goku AF looked at him, and a crimson aura flared around him, hinting at something extraordinary. Silence fell, heavy with expectation. With a deep roar, Goku AF summoned the essence of the Golden Uzaru. His aura grew in reddish waves, and the wind whipped the rocks. In seconds, his hair extended, turning jet black, while a red fur appeared on his torso, arms, and back. His eyes took on a feline gleam, and his expression radiated fierceness. "This form is called Super Saiyan 4, he announced in a low voice. Goku and Vegeta, both in blue, stood dumbfounded. Trunks felt a chill at the brutality of that force. "How?" the young man murmured, unable to believe the intensity emanating from Goku AF.
"Don't underestimate me! Let's see if you can surpass divine energy!"
With that, he rushed into the attack, convinced his Saiyan pride would prevail. Vegeta, in blue, unleashed a series of punches on Goku AF, who withstood them surprisingly easily. His hands blocked strikes that would normally have crushed giant boulders. Then, Goku intervened, firing a Kamehameha at the Red Saiyan's flank. Goku AF reacted by releasing a powerful energy wave that collided with Goku's, producing a blinding flash. Trunks watched, dumbstruck, as the ground shook. "This is incredible," he thought, feeling the gust of wind against his face. Emerging from the explosion, Vegeta glared at Goku AF with anger and shock.
"Where does that power come from?"
he shouted, nursing his wounded pride. Goku AF didn't answer, limiting himself to a fierce roar, making it clear that the fourth form channeled the most primal force. As the battle escalated, Trunks summoned the courage to join in, although his Super Saiyan 2 lagged behind the two blues and the impressive Super Saiyan 4, his resolve didn't falter. "I won't let Black destroy any more futures," he cried, rushing forward with a barrage of ki slashes. Goku AF blocked them easily, though he felt Trunks' determination. "I see your resolve," he said in a grave tone. "Don't give up, kid." Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks tried to corner Goku AF to unleash a triple combined attack, but Goku AF diverted it without much worry. Each impact raised clouds of dust and unleashed blasts that cracked nearby mounds. The sky seemed to darken under the wake of so much power. No one slowed down. Adrenaline guided their every move, fueled by the desire to win. After a prolonged struggle, Goku AF stepped back, catching his breath. Vegeta also stopped, his brow furrowed and small wounds on his arms. Goku approached Trunks, who was gasping, trying to steady his breathing. "Trunks, are you okay?" he asked with concern. The young man nodded, though his strength was fading. Goku AF, returning to his normal form, cast a glance at them. "Your divine power is astounding," he said with a note of respect. "But my transformation is built on a different type of strength, connected to the Saiyan essence."
I admit you're strong, but don't think I'll just back down."
Goku smiled, fascinated by what he had witnessed. Trunks closed his eyes, grateful he wasn't alone in his fight against Black. After several hours of intense training in that desolate setting, Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goku AF rested, surrounded by fractured rocks and a light dust that still lingered from their recent clashes. The breeze blew softly, cooling the sweaty bodies of the warriors who had pushed their limits to the fullest.
"Wow, what an incredible workout!" "At least it'll help us finally crush Black."
"Every moment of practice counts. I don't know how long until Black reappears."
"Don't worry too much.
You've now seen my transformation and what we can do together, but you'll have to keep honing your own skills, Trunks." Exchanging confident glances, the four decided it was time to return to Capsule Corporation. The sun now hung high, and the hum of residual energy gave way to a momentary silence. Without delay, they took to the air, setting off back home. Bulma greeted them as they landed in the main courtyard. Her expression was a mix of relief and concern, noting the scratches on their clothes and the exhaustion etched on their faces.
"Did you really have to overdo it so much? I hope you didn't cause too much damage."
"Relax, Bulma. We managed not to destroy anything important."
"It was a necessary training. We can't underestimate Black."
At that moment, a soft but unmistakable voice came from the main hall. Whis appeared, staff in hand, followed by Beerus, who wore a blend of annoyance and introspection on his face.
"I see you've returned, everyone. Lord Beerus and I also bring news from our visit to Universe 10.
It was an unnecessarily long trip. You'd better appreciate it."
Gathering around Whis, the warriors waited expectantly.
"We have spoken with Gowasu, the Supreme Kai of the 10th Universe. There's only one detail that might relate to Black, an apprentice called Zamasu. It's true that his ki closely resembles that of this evil Goku, yet he doesn't appear to have a malevolent aura. At least for now, we didn't sense any cruelty in him."
"Are you contradicting yourselves? Same ki and yet no malice?"
"Exactly, Vegeta. At first glance, there was no concrete signs that Zamasu was the villain we're after. But the resemblance to Black's ki is suspicious. It's best to keep investigating."
"So we don't have any clear leads to stop Black? Meanwhile, my future can get worse." "We understand your concern, but rushing in without proof could make things worse."
Goku stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. "Listen, I've seen how much Trunks has suffered because of Black. We can't just stand by. Now that I know Goku AF's strength, I think... I have an idea." "You want to go back to the future to face him, right?" "Yes. If we fight together, I have faith we can win. Every minute that passes is a risk to your world, Trunks. After seeing your power, I feel more confident. I think this time we can do it." Vegeta, giving a slight nod, seemed to endorse the decision. Even though he rarely showed it, he cared deeply about his future son's fate. Beerus and Whis exchanged glances. Despite their reservations, they knew it was impossible to stop Goku and the others' determination. Suddenly, Whis' staff flickered, and the angel's voice rang out in surprise.
Oh, I didn't expect this.
What is it now, Whis?
It appears Zeno-sama has contacted Goku. Zeno is calling him at this very moment.
Huh? The great Zeno? Why is he calling me?
I don't know, but when Zeno-sama requests something, it's best to comply without delay.
The great Zeno is looking for you now! Don't keep the king of everything waiting! Answer his call immediately!
Goku glanced sideways at Goku AF. Want to come with me? Maybe Zeno-sama will find you interesting as well. We just finished training, and who knows what might happen out there?
Goku AF nodded without hesitation. Sure, if it helps clarify more details about Black or even Zamasu, you can count on me. I just hope I'm up to the task.
So, you won't go to the future now?
We will, Trunks. But first I'll see what Zeno-sama wants. Maybe it's also related to Black.
Go! And don't do anything stupid! Remember, the future still depends on us.
A clear light surrounded Goku and Goku AF, leaving the others on edge. Trunks clenched his fists, hoping the audience with Zeno-sama would be short so they could head to the future as soon as possible. Vegeta stared at the sky in silence, aware that there was no defying the King of Everything's will. See you soon! We'll come back as soon as we can, and then we'll go to the future to stop Black. Trust us! The light flared brightly for an instant, then everything stilled. Goku and Goku AF were gone, taken away by Zeno-sama's summons, while the wind swept the Capsule Corporation courtyard, spreading an expectant silence.
The air seemed to vibrate around them as Goku and Goku AF appeared before the imposing presence of Zeno-sama. Although the King of Everything didn't appear physically threatening, his infinite, unfathomable ki filled the entire place with an aura of solemnity. The gleaming palace stretched on with no visible horizon, and the pure, immaculate atmosphere contrasted with the tension hanging in the air.
Goku, you came! And who's that? You have a double? How fun!
Goku smiled in his usual friendly way, while Goku AF stood firm, though there was a hint of respect in his gaze. It was his first time facing a deity of such magnitude, and though he had battled gods in his own universe, Zeno-sama's energy was unlike anything he'd experienced before. Zeno-sama, he's another me, from a very distant place. He calls himself Goku AF. Sorry if this causes confusion, but he's truly someone you can trust.
Amazing! 2 Gokus! This could be very entertaining.
The small absolute ruler floated closer, while Daishinkan also observed Goku AF carefully. The Grand Priest's eyes narrowed for an instant. He could sense a strange ki, unlike any he had felt before. However, for now, he remained silent. Zeno-sama, I am at your service for whatever you need. But before proceeding, what brings you to summon Goku? Zeno-sama was silent for a moment, as if thinking it over. Then he looked at Goku and Goku AF with an expression that was both childlike and brimming with excitement.
The truth is, I wanted to call Goku so we could play together. Ever since he left after the Tournament of the Universes, I thought, I need a friend to have fun with. And now I see there are 2 Gokus. Does that mean double the fun?
Goku let out a little laugh, trying not to be rude, but his concern for the future kept him from relaxing completely. Zeno-sama, I'm honored you want to play with me. I really appreciate it. But... Goku glanced briefly at Goku AF, recalling Black and the devastation threatening Trunks' future. Right now, we're a bit busy, but I promise that next time we meet, I'll bring you a friend so you can play. Also, I can't really stay to play at the moment. Zeno-sama's eyes went wide. It was unusual for anyone to turn him down, even politely. However, he didn't get angry. He tilted his head in thought, eventually nodding with a serious expression.
I see. If you're busy, I understand. But when you have free time, come see me. And don't forget to bring that new friend so we can play together too.
Of course, Zeno-sama. I promise that when we see each other again, I'll bring that friend with me, and we'll have some fun. Still looking a bit sad, Zeno-sama suddenly produced an invocation button out of nowhere, handing it to Goku.
Here you go, Goku. With this, you can come see me whenever you want. And I can also go wherever you are. Just press the button.
Goku took the button with great care. The idea of being able to summon Zeno-sama at the push of a button was overwhelming,
but it also gave him some reassurance if the situation with Black got out of control.
Thank you very much, Zeno-sama. I promise I'll use it.
Throughout his exchange, Goku AF had remained silent, watching how Goku interacted with Zeno. He recalled how deities in his own universe also had extreme attitudes and felt a hint of relief at the relatively cordial way the King of Everything treated them. Before Daishinkan could inquire further about Goku AF's unusual ki, Zeno-sama was already looking restless, as though wanting Goku to go solve his problem and then come back to play.
Goku AF, I'll be waiting for you.
Thank you for allowing us to visit, Zeno-sama.
With a gentle nod toward Daishinkan, both Saiyans vanished from the palace, ready to return to Earth and put into action their plan to travel to Trunks' future. As soon as they returned, they found Vegeta and Trunks waiting impatiently in Capsule Corporation's courtyard. Bulma, relieved, let out a sigh upon seeing they hadn't taken too long.
What did Zeno-sama say? Is he going to interfere? Do we need to change the plan?
Not at all. Zeno-sama just wanted to play, but I promised I'd come back, so let's do this, Vegeta.
So we're finally heading to the future. Every second counts for the people still surviving there.
Goku AF approached the time machine. It was identical to the one he knew from stories and references, though events in his universe had transpired differently.
So this is how you travel through time. Incredible!
In my world, the use of the Dragon Balls caused dimensional chaos, but I've never seen something as concrete as this machine. Bulma stepped forward with a proud look.
I fixed it up and made some adjustments after Trunks' last visit. Luckily, thanks to Goku AF, Black didn't destroy it. Make sure everyone can fit inside.
While they got everything ready, Vegeta began checking some capsule supplies Bulma had prepared. His plan was to bring food and provisions for the survivors in the future, and also a feast to boost their energy if the battle dragged on. Thus, Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goku AF boarded the time machine while Bulma waved them off, a lump in her throat. In seconds, the machine rose and was enveloped by an energy dome, piercing the fabric of space-time to emerge in Trunks' future world. No sooner had they landed than the four of them felt the oppressive atmosphere of that place. The sky was covered by gray clouds, and the scenery was a desolate view of ruins and collapsed buildings. The air smelled of dust and ash.
Every time I come back, things are worse. Black leaves almost nothing alive.
Goku frowned, sensing the residual energy of multiple battles. Vegeta surveyed the horizon with a grim look, while Goku AF closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the accumulated tragedy in the air.
There's a deep pain here. A lot of innocent people have suffered.
They walked among the debris, moving quietly and staying alert. After a while, they spotted a small group of people hiding in a half-collapsed building. Seeing to Goku's approach, the survivors tensed, some preparing to fight without checking if they were friend or foe.
It can't be! There's another one! He's attacking again! Run!
Terror showed on their faces. Trunks ran toward them with his hands raised, trying to calm them.
Wait! He's not Black! I promise you! These Gokus have come to help! Please, trust me!
They recognized Trunks, and their panicked expressions began to ease. Though they still eyed Goku and Goku AF warily, they let their improvised weapons drop.
Trunks, if you say so, though this is really confusing.
We don't have time for long explanations. First, eat something and get your strength back.
The Saiyan Prince tossed the capsule to the ground, and instantly a feast appeared. Pots of stew, crates of supplies, water, fruit, and more. The survivors' eyes shone with relief and excitement. It had been a long time since they'd had a decent meal. Among them, Mai emerged from the shadows, wounded but with a determined look. Her face lit up upon seeing Trunks.
Trunks! I'm so glad you're all right. I feared the worst after the last fight against Black.
Trunks walked over and took her hand, gratitude evident in his eyes.
Mai, I did it. I came back with reinforcements. We'll deal with Black once and for all.
While the people began to eat, reclaiming a glimmer of hope, Vegeta stepped towards an open area. He looked up at the sky and fired off a blast of energy into the clouds, like a direct challenge.
Hey, Black! Aren't you going to show your face? Come on if you dare!
Goku took a defensive stance, and Goku AF scanned the horizon. Trunks, next to Mai, braced himself for an imminent clash. Vegeta's provocation worked. Within seconds, a malignant presence appeared, floating in the distance.
Well, I see you've returned.
You've brought more company. His smile faded for an instant upon noticing that the other Goku was also there, physically identical but with a different aura. Who dared to take Goku's body again? Ever since I fought that other Goku, I've been wondering where he came from or how he appeared. Goku exchanged a glance with Goku AF and then with Vegeta. So you're still clinging to that absurd idea of stealing bodies. But I warn you, Black, this time you won't get away with it. The only reason I'm here is to purify this world of humanity. And you, imposter. He glared at Goku AF as if he were some anomaly. I sense a different power, but nothing that impresses me. Vegeta let out a grunt. Enough talk! You'll pay for what you've done to my son's future! Unlike the original story, Goku and Vegeta rushed at Black simultaneously. The speed of their assault kicked up a storm of rubble. Both Saiyans immediately went Super Saiyan Blue, their intense blue aura shining in the midst of the wreckage. So you're stronger this time, but this body of mine continues to evolve. The battlefield rumbled with each impact. Goku and Vegeta coordinated their moves to pressure Black from different angles. However, just as they had sensed before, Black grew stronger with every blow, adapting to their techniques and absorbing their combat experience. Goku AF looked on, not intervening yet. I can feel how his energy increases unnaturally. Does he really feed off the pain and damage he receives? Amid the exchange of blows with Goku and Vegeta, the dark figure of Black suddenly boosted his ki to a brutal level. A dazzling pink aura burst forth around him. Behold, the power of the true Divine Saiyan! Super Saiyan Rose! Goku and Vegeta felt their senses reel. Black's movements became even more fluid and devastating. With just a few strikes powered by that pink energy, he left Goku and Vegeta severely wounded on the ground, barely able to resist. It's incredible! His power grew too much! Damn him! Black stood on a raised chunk of debris, gazing haughtily. He then set his sights on Goku AF, who stood frowning. What are you doing just standing there? Do you expect a miracle? It's your turn to fight, unless you plan to run away like a coward. Anger flared within Goku AF as he saw his friends nearly defeated. Unlike Goku and Vegeta, he felt no need to test his strength against Black. His rage stemmed from witnessing such cruelty. I'm not gonna forgive you for hurting my friends like this! He stepped forward, the ground cracking beneath his feet. From where Goku and Vegeta lay, their blurred vision could sense it. The tremendous buildup of ki in Goku AF. I'll show you something beyond Super Saiyan 4! Super Saiyan 5! A thunderous roar shook the air as the Saiyan began his transformation. His hair grew even longer than in the fourth form and took on a bright silver tone, while the reddish fur on his arms and torso now blended with grayish hues. The brilliance of his aura was so intense it formed a ring of energy radiating outwards in all directions. That power is overwhelming! I had no idea such a transformation existed! Black, from his vantage point, revealed a flicker of impatience at Goku AF's explosive power. You think that'll change anything? I'll crush you just like the others! At that moment, a new presence stirred in the air. With a gust of wind, Zamasu appeared, hovering behind Black. His gaze landed first on Goku AF, surprised by that overflowing power, then on Goku and Vegeta, who lay wounded. Black, how did you let them get this far? Black let out a short laugh. It's not that I let them. Another version of Goku showed up unexpectedly. But it doesn't matter. We'll exterminate them all anyway, Zamasu. Zamasu scowled at Goku AF's ki, recognizing it far surpassed Goku and Vegeta's at that moment. Humanity must be eradicated, but if his strength is that great, we can't let our guard down. Black nodded, turning back toward Goku AF, readying himself for battle. Goku AF sensed the tension, two enemies who dangerously complemented each other. I don't care how many you are! I swore to protect these people and end your destruction! Black attacked, still in his Super Saiyan Rose form. Zamasu moved in sync, launching green ki blasts from another angle. Goku AF responded with extraordinary reflexes, blocking their simultaneous blows. Each energy collision kicked up dust clouds and shook the ruins. To the survivors, watching Goku AF hold both enemies at bay was nothing short of a miracle. Trunks tried to help, but his body was exhausted from previous fights.
Goku and Vegeta, still on the ground, struggled to overcome their injuries with little success.
This can't be! How can someone who isn't a god manage to hold us off? His power is unlike anything we've seen. He isn't just a Saiyan. There's more to him.
Goku AF moved at such speed that for a moment he left a shining afterimage. With a decisive strike, he hurled Black against a partially collapsed wall, slamming him so hard that Black spat blood. Then Goku AF whirled around toward Zamasu, landing a punch that Dark Kaioshin could barely evade.
Surrender before it's too late! I won't allow you to continue this genocide!
Black stood up, wiping a trickle of blood from his lip. His expression grew even harsher. Arrogance was giving way to desperation.
You! Damn you! You're just a filthy ape!
Zamasu sensed that Black was at his limit, and his own power wasn't enough to balance the scales. Even though he was immortal at that moment, it wasn't of much use. If Goku AF could handle them both, their plan for absolute justice was in danger.
I think we should use that resource, Black.
Their eyes met, instantly understanding each other's meaning.
You mean?
There's no other option.
Let's fuse. Humanity doesn't deserve mercy. United, we'll be invincible.
Goku AF felt a surge of alarm. Trunks, who had managed to stand just enough to hear this, grew agitated, realizing that Black and Zamasu were about to combine their power.
No, I won't allow a malignant fusion!
He tried to move closer, but his body didn't respond well after his previous beating. Goku, meanwhile, forced himself to lift his head and press his fist to the ground, struggling to stand and prevent what was coming.
Don't let them fuse! Their power will go beyond anything imaginable!
With one simple gesture, Black and Zamasu positioned themselves face to face. Both stared with determination and fanaticism. Then they extended their arms, placing their hands to bring together the Potara, the sacred earrings of the Kaioshin that, when joined, merged two beings, combining bodies and powers.
From this moment on, we become a single god, the perfect justice that will purify the universe!
An almost blinding radiance burst from the contact of their earrings. Despite warnings from his new friends, Goku AF didn't act in time. He felt sure he could defeat them both regardless, as he dealt with far stronger foes in his own world, not realizing Zamasu was immortal. The very air seemed to crack in an explosion of white and green light. A hurricane wind tore down what little remained of the nearby buildings. Trunks covered Mai with his body, shielding her from the debris, while the survivors screamed in panic. For one terrifying second, an abyssal silence reigned, so dense it seemed to swallow all sound. Then a deep, powerful laughter rumbled across the battlefield, heralding the birth of the fusion.
At last, we have transcended every limit. This is the end of humanity. Now we are the absolute embodiment of justice.
Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks watched the transformation in stunned silence. Even with rage coursing through their veins, the Saiyans realized that the threat had just skyrocketed beyond reckoning. The fusion extended an arm and flexed his fingers, as though testing out his new power.
You intruder from a worthless universe. You've been a nuisance. But it no longer matters, because now we truly are gods.
The malevolent laughter of the fused being echoed among the ruins. Goku AF felt his aura pulsing, urging him to fight, yet he also sensed the horrifying growth of the enemy's energy.
Whoever you are now, I won't let you carry out your plan!
You speak with such confidence, but look at your comrades. They have no strength left. Not even your Super Saiyan 5 power can stand against this new divinity. Those words reverberated over a future plunged into an even deeper darkness. As the fusion's laughter resounded, the heroes' determination blazed in their hearts. They knew the final battle for the salvation of the future and of all worlds had begun. The sky in Trunks' future rumbled, as though sensing the catastrophe on the horizon. The remains of buildings and the smoking ruins bore witness to the violent battle taking place amidst that desolate landscape. Goku AF, in his Super Saiyan 5 form, hovered just a few feet above the ground, sizing up the fusion of Zamasu and Black. That terrifying combination of divine power and a corrupted Saiyan stood tall, surrounded by a pinkish aura shot through with whitish sparks, wearing a smile of superiority that seemed to intensify with every pulse of energy. Meanwhile, Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks, injured but resolute, watched the scene with solemn expressions. Behold the embodiment of divine justice. My immortality and this Saiyan body have forged the ultimate perfection. The air around him seemed to ripple under the pressure of that aura, warping even the light trying to pierce the clouds. That bastard! With every second he grows more unstable, but also more dangerous.
Zamasu, or rather, that fusion, feels different from any enemy we've faced before.
Trunks swallowed hard. He felt hope hanging by a thread. If not even Goku and Vegeta could defeat him easily, what chance was there? But then, his gaze fell on one person who was both the biggest enigma and the greatest promise of victory in that place, Goku AF. Goku AF retained his long silver hair, fierce eyes, and that dense formidable aura characteristic of Super Saiyan 5. He had already demonstrated his incredible abilities, but the presence of Zamasu's fusion forced him to push his potential to its very limits.
I've fought gods before. I know what it's like to face a power beyond understanding. But this is something I can't forgive.
Suddenly, the fusion lunged at him with a roar. A violent exchange of blows ensued, whipping up gusts of wind and dust. Each collision of fists created shockwaves that rattled the foundation of the ruined city. From a distance, Goku and Vegeta, still trying to recover from their last clash, stared in astonishment at the intensity of the fight.
Incredible! It's like watching two titans battle. They're moving ridiculously fast. That other Kakarot, his strength goes far beyond Super Saiyan Blue. But will it be enough to defeat Zamasu?
The battle escalated quickly. The ground cracked under the fury of their auras, while Fusion Zamasu and Goku AF traded kicks and ki blasts. Their blows were so fast they were almost invisible to the human eye. At a critical moment, Goku AF pulled back a few yards and brought his palms together at waist level, assuming the familiar Kamehameha stance.
Kame! Ha!
A massive column of energy formed between his hands, glowing with bluish tone laced with silver sparks, a reflection of his Super Saiyan 5 form. The attack seemed 1,000 times stronger than the original Kamehameha Goku was known for. The instant he unleashed it, the blast became a torrent of power that split the clouds and shook the air like thunder.
That's colossal!
The impact landed squarely on Fusion Zamasu. The ensuing explosion was so bright that it covered the entire battlefield. For a few seconds, no one could see anything but the blinding glare. As the light receded, dust swirled, forming a dense cloud. Goku AF remained in position, chest heaving from the strain of launching such a massive attack. Trunks, Goku, and Vegeta waited anxiously, watching for any sign of the outcome. Slowly, Fusion Zamasu emerged from the haze. His body bore cracks and burns where the ki had hit, but with a greenish aura pulsing on his skin, the wounds began to close.
Did you really think that you could defeat me with that? You forget I'm immortal, clown. Immortal? I gave it everything I had.
Just then, Goku ran up.
Goku AF! That guy must have used the Super Dragon Balls to become immortal! There's no other explanation for why he's regenerating so fast.
So how are we supposed to finish off someone who can't die? A heavy silence fell as Fusion Zamasu rose higher, smiling smugly. To cap it off, he raised one arm and generated a gigantic pink energy orb that split into multiple blasts, forcing the heroes to dodge desperately and kicking up even more rubble in Trunks' devastated future. Despite the immortality, Goku AF refused to give up. He recalled a technique in his world that had allowed him to defeat an opponent who almost surpassed his power, the White Dragon Fist, an ultimate variation of his ancestral Dragon Fist attack, which had yet to be used in this dimension, enhanced to the limit by the fury and focus of Super Saiyan 5. He concentrated his ki, and his silver aura intensified to an almost blinding level. A low roar was heard, as if the very universe were resonating in tune. A spectral form of a whitish glowing dragon wrapped around his arm, unleashing a chilling roar.
This is my White Dragon Fist! One of my most powerful techniques!
The Saiyan charged toward Fusion Zamasu, and with a precise strike, he unleashed the dragon's entire essence in a burst of power. The thunderous sound eclipsed all known noise, and the entire landscape felt as if it were being ripped apart by the shockwave. A pillar of silver light roared upward, as if thousands of storms were colliding all at once. while the dragon's silhouette sank into the enemy's chest, emitting a radiance that seemed to devour reality itself.
What kind of power is this? How can a mere monkey hold such immense power?
The resulting explosion flashed brighter than before. For several moments, it seemed that the fusion's body was engulfed in key flames, shredded by the magnitude of the impact. When the chaos subsided, Fusion Zamasu lay on the ground, his body wrecked and weakened. Goku AF's attack had physically defeated him, but looks like I finally beat him. Filled with astonishment, Trunks ran toward the Saiyan from another universe, while Goku and Vegeta stood speechless at the brutal technique they had witnessed, wondering how anyone could wield such a powerful and devastating attack capable of nearly obliterating everything in its path. However, in the blink of an eye, something chilling happened. Zamasu's face began to project itself into the sky, multiplying with a distorted expression of hatred and pain. Dark energy swirled on high, and the air filled with a sinister tremor. It's his essence. He's still there. Even after that huge attack, he's still alive. It can't be.
His body may have fallen, but his immortality is a problem that goes beyond the physical. He's tainting the sky.
No wonder my attack couldn't finish him off entirely. Terror gripped Trunks as he watched Zamasu's visage expand, covering every corner of that already ravaged future. His laughter echoed like a terrifying chorus, warping reality. In the midst of the mounting despair, Goku AF remembered something crucial. Zeno-sama, the king of everything, had given Goku a button. He wanted to shout it out, but Goku realized it at the same moment, seeing that there was no way to fully destroy Zamasu.
Goku, do you remember Zeno-sama's button? It's our only option!
Trembling at the sense of Zamasu's vile energy everywhere, Goku pulled the small item from his belt and pressed it firmly. A silent, intense flash occurred in the middle of the ruined city. The king of everything appeared, floating with a calm yet curious expression. He surveyed the ruins, the sky filled with Zamasu's face, and let out a weary sigh.
This place looks really bad.
Before Goku could explain, Zeno-sama raised his tiny hand.
I'll erase it.
His words rang out like an absolute decree. Instantly, colossal power began to disintegrate Trunks' entire future. The ground, the remaining buildings, and even the atmosphere turned to cosmic dust that dissolved into the void. Zamasu's essence, caught in the midst of this total annihilation, was erased along with that world.
Let's get out of here, quickly!
Trunks ran to the time machine, opening the hatch so Goku, Vegeta, Mai, and Goku AF could climb inside. The hurricane winds of final destruction buffeted them, but they managed to depart at the last second. Trunks' future vanished into nothingness, leaving not a trace behind. The time machine landed with a jolt in Capsule Corporation's courtyard in the present. Everyone climbed out silently. Trunks took a few shaky steps and dropped to his knees, staring blankly. Mai held his hand, trying to give him some measure of comfort, though her own face was streaked with tears.
My future, my home, everything, it's gone forever.
Vegeta looked away with suppressed anger, and Goku bowed his head. They could barely process what they had just witnessed. As for Goku AF, he clenched his fist, feeling a mix of frustration and sorrow. Despite his power, he hadn't been able to save that world.
I'm sorry. I did everything I could, but it wasn't enough.
Trunks couldn't hold back his tears. However, he took a deep breath and tried to stand, recalling that there had been a time when there wasn't even the slightest hope of survival. The atmosphere was bleak until Goku AF, remembering the promise he had made to Trunks and refusing to believe there was no alternative, turned to Whis with a determined glint in his eyes.
Whis, you must know something. Isn't there a way to return Trunks' original timeline or fix it?
Whis, with his usual serene demeanor, shook his head softly.
Unfortunately, in cases like this, restoring a future erased by Zeno-sama exactly as it was is impossible. The only thing that can be done is to create another timeline, or, at best, travel back in the same line before Zamasu wished for immortality and obtained Goku Black's body.
Trunks looked up, a glimmer of hope in his eyes.
So, if we travel before that point, we could stop Zamasu?
Indeed, but it would mean coexisting with another, different reality, since the current one was erased by Zeno. Even so, if you wish, you can create that new branch and try to prevent Zamasu from carrying out his plans.
Goku AF furrowed his brow, recalling his promise to protect Trunks' future.
Then I'm going. I promised you, Trunks, that I would help your people. Even if your line was erased, I won't let Zamasu destroy another future.
Trunks felt a lump in his throat upon hearing those words.
Thank you. I don't know what to say.
With their plan clear, Goku AF and the others set to work, preparing the time machine to create a new timeline. Beerus, overhearing, agreed to help. He himself would find the present Zamasu and erase him with his Hakai before he could commit any treachery.
If we don't act now, he might try something similar. I'll wipe him from existence before he even opens his mouth to make a wish.
At last, the farewell was inevitable. Trunks said goodbye to Goku AF with a grateful embrace, though weighed down by the sadness of losing his world.
You did everything you could, Goku AF. Maybe I couldn't keep my reality, but thanks to you, I still have and a place to go.
At least you'll have a future that's close enough, right? It's not the same, but it's better than nothing. After exchanging respectful nods with Goku and Vegeta, Goku AF departed in the time machine for that specific point before Zamasu's plan took shape. Even knowing he'd face a decisive battle, he went with the resolve of a warrior who carries the promise of protecting a future. Meanwhile, Goku remembered his promise to Zeno-sama, to bring him a new friend. He realized there was still a Zeno-sama drifting in the void of Trunks' erased timeline. He glanced at Vegeta and both nodded. They decided to replicate what happened in the original story by briefly traveling into that nothingness, using the time machine, to rescue the lone Zeno. They found the small god floating in absolute emptiness after the destruction of Trunks' future. Goku quickly explained that there was a present-day Zeno-sama, and that they could be friends. The future Zeno, confused but intrigued, agreed to come along.
It's all so empty. There's nothing here.
Don't worry, I'll take you to a great friend. With that, they returned to the present and introduced future Zeno-sama to the present Zeno-sama, fulfilling Goku's promise. The two kings of everything got along from the start, filling the palace that oversees all universes with their innocent energy. Several days passed. Goku AF had successfully restored peace to Trunks' new future. Things had calmed down for the time being. Trunks and Mai set off for the newly created timeline to at least live in peace, accompanied by Goku AF, who wanted to ensure Trunks' well-being and prevent another catastrophic event like the one in his own dimension. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta resumed their lives on Earth, though they kept their sights on new training sessions. However, one casual remark from Goku about the incredible power of Goku AF caught Beerus' attention. The god of destruction showed unusual curiosity upon learning that there was a Saiyan capable of reaching Super Saiyan 5, and fighting an immortal being, wondering if perhaps Goku AF was truly the Super Saiyan god he had seen in his dreams.
You said this Goku AF could use colossal attacks like a dimension-shaking Kamehameha, and that he even defeated the immortal Zamasu, though he didn't kill him entirely.
That's right, Lord Beerus. You should have seen him. His strikes were... Whoa, I'm pretty sure even you would be surprised. Beerus frowned and flashed a cat-like smile.
I'd like to put him to the test. Who does that Saiyan think he is to boast such strength? Whis, you'd better bring him here the moment he returns from his little time travel adventure.
Yes, my lord. I will notify him as soon as Goku AF comes back.
It'll be interesting to see the look on that guy's face when he goes up against the real god of destruction.
I can't wait to see that match.